So much has happened in our American history over the last 150 years, from lynching, civil rights, voting rights, daily race riots, and countless events of activism. It's nearly impossible to put it all in a school history book. But thanks to the World Wide Web, we can now do our own research and find out events that we never heard of before. And one important event you probably never heard of before is Juneteenth. So, what is Juneteenth, you might ask? Well, Juneteenth, or short for June 19th, is a holiday commemorating the day which marked the effective end of slavery in the United States. On June 19th, 1865, 2.5 years after the signing of the Emancipation Proclamation, some 1,800 federal troops arrived in Galveston, Texas to take control of the state and ensure that all enslaved people be free. Confederate General Robert E. Lee had surrendered at the Appomattox Courthouse 2 months earlier in Virginia, but slavery had remained relatively unaffected in Texas until U.S. General Gordon Granger stood on Texas soil and read General Order Number 3. The people of Texas are informed that, in accordance with a proclamation from the Executive of the United States, all slaves are free. As word spread about Granger's announcement, celebrations broke out across the state, and slavery was officially over in the United States. When Abe Lincoln signed the Emancipation on January 1st, 1863, or Watch Night as it's called, had established that all slaves in the Confederate States, as a rebellion against the Union, shall be thenceforward, and forever free. But in reality, the Emancipation Proclamation didn't instantly free any slaves. The proclamation only applied to places under Confederate control, and not to slave-holding border states or rebel areas already under the Union. However, as Northern soldiers advanced into the Confederate South, many slaves fled behind them. In Texas, slavery had continued as the state experienced no large-scale fighting or significant presence of Union troops. In fact, many slave owners from outside the Lone Star State, viewed it as a safe haven, brought their slaves with them. After the war came to a close in the spring of 1865, General Granger's arrival in Galveston that June signaled freedom for all of Texas' 250,000 slaves. Although emancipation didn't happen overnight for everyone, and in some cases, slave owners even withheld the information until after harvest season, nevertheless, celebrations broke out among newly freed black people, and Juneteenth was born. That December, slavery in America was formally abolished with the adoption of the 13th Amendment. These days, people celebrate Juneteenth with music, barbecues, prayer services, and other activities. And as newly freed black people migrated from Texas to other parts of the country, the Juneteenth tradition followed. In 1979, Texas became the first state to make Juneteenth an official holiday. Today, 47 states other than Hawaii and the Dakotas recognize Juneteenth as an official state holiday, while efforts to make it a national holiday so far has stalled in Congress.